argument, right? There are logical conclusions of atheism. What does that mean? When you extrapolate the atheist worldview out, you have to understand that your life has no purpose, your life has no meaning, your life has no value. Why? Because your life only has purpose because you say it has purpose, right? So I can say, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. Am I actually the greatest? Of course not, right? We can all say anything, right? I can say, I'm the most best-looking guy in the world. I mean, I think I'm good looking, but am I the best-looking guy in the world? To me, I may be, right? To you, I may not be, right? So we can just all define these own things. I can say my life has purpose, but it doesn't actually make my life has purpose. So atheism, their life has no purpose. So let me just give you a basic premise argument here, okay? Premise 1, atheism has no defined family structure. Premise 2, no family structure leads to psychological abuse in kids. And now the conclusion is, therefore, atheism is psychologically abusive.
I'm sorry, but that is such a...
When I say when I say family structure, what I'm meaning is atheism, they have no defined anything. Nothing is defined in atheism. So there is no right and wrong in atheism. Okay? If there is no God, then everything is arbitrary. Everything is just up to what I believe and to what you believe. There's no defined objective standard that God sets that we have to follow, that we should obey. It's just whatever I believe is cool, whatever you believe is cool. So whatever you if you teach your kids that stealing is good, then stealing is good. If I teach my kids that stealing is bad, then stealing is bad.
Okay, so here, I will give you an analogy. How about this? So if I have a child, right, and
I'm your parent and I tell you to stop it, that's cool. But don't tell Billy that thing is wrong, because nothing is right or wrong in atheism. That's my whole point. If there is no God, then morality is arbitrary. So if I think stealing something is good, then stealing is good because I think it's good. It benefits me. So who are you to tell me it's bad? If I think stealing is bad, then it's bad. Who are you to tell me that it's good? It's all arbitrary. That's my whole point. If there is no God, morality is arbitrary. So when you teach your kids this type of framework, that is psychologically abusive. And because you're teaching your kids that there is no right or wrong. When your kid comes to you and they say, hey, daddy, what's the purpose of life? You have to tell your kid there is no purpose of life. There is no purpose of life. Your life has no meaning, your life has no value, and your life has no purpose. Because that's the logical conclusion of atheism. Your life has no purpose. You can get that, you're understanding me, brother. You can teach your kids right and wrong. Of course you can. But you cannot say it is absolutely right or absolutely wrong. You have to say that's what I prefer is right. That's what I prefer is wrong. And when you teach your kids that type of morality, it's going to lead them down a dark path. It's going to lead them in prison. It's going to lead them depressed. It's going to lead them down a very dark road.
That's a stretch.
To you. But that's not my point.
But also it's interesting to me that you're using the Bible as a standard for morality, because have you read the stuff that's in that book?
Yes.
Your God curses an entire race of creatures, aka humans, because he purposely placed a serpent and a tree in the garden that led her to be deceived, and then kind of puts the blame on her. Oh my God, the whole idea of Christianity is so immoral. The fact that you would say
this whole life is atheism is child abuse. Stop abusing your children. Just stop abusing your children, bro. Teach your children the right way. Teach them that they actually have purpose in life. They actually have a value. Their life actually has meaning. Atheism is child abuse, y'all. Y'all don't even know. Stop abusing your children. Stop abusing your children, bro. Straight up. Straight up.
It's the opposite. I think that religion is a lot more abusive than atheism.
Okay, can I give you a logical argument for why atheism is child abuse?
Go ahead.
Okay. I haven't run this one, so I'll run this one right here. Okay. Atheism has no justifiable substantiation for love. Not showing your child love is emotional abuse. Therefore, atheism is emotional abuse.
That does not make any sense. Atheism does not have any substantiation for love. Please elaborate.
So as an atheist, okay. So atheists have no sense of self. What does that mean? What does that mean? Atheists don't have a spirit. What does that mean? Atheists do not have free will. What does that mean? The atheist believes that every decision that they make is a result of a neurological process in their brain. The atheist does not have a sense of self. So for instance, I just picked up this pen, right? The atheist would say, the neurons in my brain told me to pick up this pen, so I had to pick up this pen. So an atheist does not have free will. The atheist, every action that they make, they say is dependent upon neurological process in their brain, which means the atheist can't even love their own child. Because the atheist, when their child says, hey, mommy, do you love me? If the mom is being intellectually consistent, the mom says, no, I don't love you. Neurons in my brain tell me to help you and to feed you to preserve the species, right? That's Charles Darwin. The purpose of life is the preservation of species. So the mother doesn't actually love her child. The mother is just preserving the species.
Okay, I get it. I understand.
Any sense, ma'am? You're telling me that atheist says, again, if you research atheism are materialists. What is a materialist? They believe that the whole world has been reduced down to matter and energy. There's nothing outside of matter and energy. That's what atheists believe. There's no soul, there's no spirit, everything can be reduced down to matter and energy. So all the emotions you feel is directly dependent upon an emotional response in your brain. So for instance, when you feel happy, that's a chemical response in your brain. When you love your son or you love your mother or your father, that's a chemical response in your brain. If I take out those chemicals in your brain, you will no longer love your father, you will no longer love your mother. That's what atheists believe. Every action they do, every emotion they do is dependent upon a neurological process. If you don't believe this, explain. If there is no God, I define my own purpose, you define your own purpose. So if I believe my purpose is going out here and murdering a bunch of people, then that's my purpose. It's not that my purpose is right or wrong. That's my defined purpose. If you believe your purpose is helping people, it's not that purpose is right or wrong. That's just your defined purpose. We all create our own purpose, which means our life doesn't actually have an actual purpose. It's just I create my own purpose, you create your own purpose. So if I think my purpose is, if I think my life actually has purpose, number one, then my life has purpose because I create my own purpose. But the problem is, it's just all arbitrary. Me thinking my life has purpose doesn't actually give my life purpose, right? I could think I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest to ever live. I'm the greatest person to ever live. That doesn't actually make me the greatest person to ever live. I can think whatever I want. So just because you think your life has purpose, or just because you tell your kid your life has purpose, doesn't actually give their life purpose. The only way you can justify purpose and substantiate that is if God exists, because you can tell your kid your purpose is to worship God and glorify Him, to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. That's the purpose of life. You can tell your kid that, and you can appeal to an objective standard. It's not your opinion. It's the standard of objectivity.
So, firstly, there is an objective standard of morality outside of Christianity.
Man, we're not talking about Christianity right now. Man, 1 second, not talking about Christianity. I'm saying if God does not exist, objective morals don't exist.
No, that's not true.
Okay, how? Can you please justify that? This is gonna get really good. Can you please justify that? Can you please tell me how objective morals can exist if God does not exist? Can you please tell me that right now, ma'am?
Okay. So, morals come out of humanity and empathy.
That's not objective. Wait, stop, ma'am.
How is
That's
it?
not objective, ma'am. Do you know what objective means?
Yes.
Okay, what does objective mean?
Means that it is generalized to the group. It's not subjective. It's not focused.
Ma'am, that's not what objective means. See, I think this is where we're having a fundamental disagreement. That's not what objective means. Objective is stance independent. It's not an opinion or preference. It's independent upon. It stands independent, right? So logic is objective. Morality is objective. Mathematics is objective. It stands independent.
Yes.
Okay, so how can you justify objective morality if there's no God?
Wait, I'm sorry, how is humanity not an objective concept? Does humanity exist?
Ma'am, my argument is not of humanity existing. My argument is, how can you justify objective morality if there is no God?
Because morality exists outside of God.
It's a preference, not objective morality. Subjective morality doesn't exist outside of God. If there is no God, then we can all define what is good and what is evil. I'm agreeing with you. We can define these things, right? But they're not objective. Because in Nazi Germany, they thought killing Jews was good. In the US, they thought slavery. So society does not determine what's right and wrong, and people don't determine what's right and wrong. The only way you can have an objective framework, which is what you should teach your kids, which is why I think atheism is child abuse, the only way you can have an objective moral framework is if God exists. That's the only way, because you're appealing to a higher authority.
I disagree.
Okay, ma'am, I think you disagree, but can you justify it? Can you please tell me how you can have objective morality without God's existence? Can you please tell me, like you would literally crack the code of philosophy. Like, ma'am, right now on this live, you would literally break the minds of the 21st century philosophy study. Because even atheists know that there is no such thing as objective morality. Atheists are moral relativist, which means that they believe morality is relative to the individual. That's what atheists believe now. So for you to tell me that you can have objective morality in atheism, ma'am, that is crazy, bro. Like now that's crazy. And I'm interested to hear how you're gonna justify this.
Okay. Okay.